It is time to go live, my friends. It is Mission Plan 316. My name is Joshua Brown, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you a new habit that we're starting here at Brown's Pressure Washing in Nashville, which is a multi-million-dollar pressure washing company here in Nashville by the grace of God. And today we're going to be launching a new event that I'm going to invite you to be a part of. And before I share all what we're going to do, I want you to know that we're doing this for you. If you're a kingdom-minded uh, entrepreneur, a business owner, and your goal is to create jobs, make disciples, and serve the city and make an impact while making an income so you can leave a lasting legacy, I want to invite you to hang out and check out what we're going to be offering by the end of this time together. But first, in case you haven't heard my story, I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to share a little bit of how I transitioned out of vocational ministry into what I found out to be ministry in the marketplace, which is what we're going to talk about today. And then I'm going to share with you what the journey that we're going to go on together inside what's going to be called the As You Go Network. If you're interested in signing up now, you can just go to asyougo.network and go ahead and start joining the community. But if you haven't heard my story yet, it's my joy to share with you that my story begins with one of the greatest human beings on the planet, my mama. And I really owe everything to what she has done for me. Um, uh, at the age of 13, her dad went to prison for things he was doing to her. And she was adopted into a house whose mom was addicted to pain medication, alcohol. So she was born into a crazy beginning. At the age of 15, she found herself to be pregnant with a 21-year-old's baby. She went to him and said, "Frankie, I'm pregnant." And he said, "I will pay for his abortion, but I will not be in his life." And my mom was 15. She originally agreed to it, but after about a week or two, she said, "I just can't do it. I cannot destroy this life." Thank you, Mom. Thank you. She ended up making the hard decision in the 70s to give me life. And for the next several years, we'd live on the streets of Nashville, live with different dudes. And I would experience childhood trauma, dyslexia, you name the thing. I'd end up becoming a drug dealer, pothead, high school dropout. But God, at the age of 20 years old, I'm following a friend of mine named Pookie. We're about to smoke up at Papa John's. Pookie had this beautiful 3000 GT stealth vehicle. He ran a yellow light, taking a left. I ran a red light, and another Ford Ranger was also driving from the other side. We met in the middle, and my car turned into a banana, and I denied medical attention as I'm sitting there looking at my car. Just remind you, in the 90s, the war against drugs was a thing. It was called DARE. And as I sat on the side of the road looking at my car, I realized that my life was kind of meaningless. I didn't turn everything over there. I was maybe a couple of weeks later, I'm listening to a Tupac Shakur song called Heaven for a G, or at least one of the lyrics or lines inside of it was. And I knew enough theology that the life that I was living was on destiny for hell. And if I would have died in that car wreck, my life was making an impact on nobody. That drove me to the last night of revival service. And at that revival service, God could have said anything to me he wanted to. Had pot on me, had a girlfriend with me. He could have said, "You're a loser, you're going to hell." I didn't hear any of that. I heard, "Joshua, I love you." For a dude that never had a dad to hear the words, "Joshua, I love you," it changed everything. I went forward, gave the pastor my pot, and gave God my heart. And that was September 27th, 1997. A few months later, I was asking the pastor, "What should I do?" at a Wesleyan church in Kernersville, North Carolina. I said, "What should I do?" And before you knew it, I ended up going to school to be in ministry. 22 years later, 7 different churches, from Florida to Peoria, Illinois, all over North Carolina, and also in Nashville, a little, in a church called Goodlettsville Church of the Nazarene. 6 kids. I started getting burnout of traveling around, being in different places. I started wondering what would I do if I was no longer in ministry anymore? Back then, there was no Chat GPT, and so I ended up Googling top 5 businesses to open for $5,000 or less. And you can bet your bottom dollar at that time, I was not going to start taking pictures of cats. I kind of looking back at it, I'm like, man, I should have got me a camera and started taking photos of people's cats. That would have been a lot easier than the journey that we've been on. But by the grace of God, we chose pressure washing. I had a friend of mine named Keith Parker, Parker's Pressure Washing out in High Point, Winston-Salem. Shout out Parker's Pressure Washing. He's been so good and so kind. I want you to think about this for a second. He took a couple of days off to help me build my first trailer. That trailer ended up doing $225,000 in year 1, $443,000 in year 2, 700 and something year 3, and almost $1 million in year 4. As a side hustle, I was working full time at a church, had kids, had a wife, had a little time, no money. And God's goodness and grace just allowed us to build a business outside of ministry. And this is what I want you to know is that at that moment, I made the decision. This is 2020. I made the decision to leave vocational ministry. And at that time, I believed that you could not be a pastor and also in a marketplace position. I just thought I left being a pastor. And so if someone said, "Hey, are you in ministry or you're a pastor?" I'm like, "No, I'm leaving so we can grow a pressure washing business here in Nashville, Tennessee." It took about a year and a half to 2 years of identity disorder to realize that actually the marketplace is a great place for ministry. And I want you to know that I believe that God is going to pour out his power, his presence, his spirit upon people like you and people like me so we can end up sharing with others what God has done for us. I believe he's calling us to use our business as a way of proclaiming his mission. And so that kind of brings me into what we're going to be launching here. It's called the As You Go Network, asyougo.network. I feel called by God to call, train, and send everyday disciples into the marketplace. We would call you a missionary, but it's hard to understand that we're missionaries right where we live, walk, and work and play. Like for some reason, we think missionary is somewhere far, far away, but really missionary is right inside your home. It's right inside your neighborhood. It's right inside your workplace. It's right inside of wherever you are, the mission is there. And so starting at 3:16 every day, I'm going to be bringing on, this is hopefully the last one that you'll ever see of me on solo. And I'll be bringing friends onto this platform, friends that have pressure washing businesses in different cities and states. And so I'm going to introduce you to pressure washing companies all over the United States. I've even reached out to some in different countries, and hopefully we can get them on the show. If you're watching this and you're from another country, I'd love to have you on. And even if you're not, I'll share more in a second. But we're going to have them on, and then we're going to ask strategic questions about creating jobs, making disciples, and serving the city. During the month of September, it's all about creating jobs. And so if you're trying to learn how to generate more leads or whether or not you should open a pressure washing business, we're going to have those conversations from leadership, marketing, sales, operations, services, cash flow, AI, vision casting. We're going to have those conversations at 3:16 live every single day. This is my commitment. I'm going to do this until I'm 50, which is about 500 plus days from now. So Monday through Friday, I invite you to join me. In order to grow this thing out, I need your help. I need you to like, I need you to subscribe, I need you to comment, I need you to share. The way algorithms work, as you know it, is whoever is getting the most likes, the most watches, the most comments, the most subscriptions, those dudes end up growing. What business would you rather grow than kingdom-minded businesses? And we're going to grow this out for the purpose of growing a community, growing a mission, growing coaching, and help everyone that is a kingdom minded entrepreneur or a business owner use their business for mission. And you can join us and find out more information at asyougo.network. And the following month, we'll talk about what it looks like to have kingdom performance indicators. We'll talk about starting different businesses. It won't just be pressure washing. I'm going to have all things trades and maybe even some other kingdom minded business owners inside of here. I've got some friends in the workout industry, and I'm like, okay, I think a lot of people would like to start a gym. Well, what would it look like to start a gym that creates jobs, makes disciples, and serves the city? What would it look like to open up a plumbing business or, electrical business or window or outdoor lighting? You name the industry. Why don't we teach one another how to create jobs, how to make disciples, how to serve the city so you can make an impact and an income and leave a lasting legacy, which is my promise to you if you join the network. It'll be everything I can to do it. So this week, we've got some amazing individuals that are going to be on the show. Tomorrow, we've got a friend named Trevor Steele. He's going to be sharing a little bit about what he does. He also has a podcast and a pressure washing business. We've also got my friend John Carmanza. Going to jack his name up, but he's an amazing man of God that loves Jesus. We're going to pick his brain on how to generate some leads, whether or not you start. Matt Adams from lynda.co. And then we're going to finish the week with a friend named Shane Glow Daddy Duffy. He's got an outdoor lighting business in Austin, San Antonio, Texas, actually. Shout out. And also Glass Geeks. And he uses his brand to help other people start businesses. So I'm going to bring you individuals that are starting businesses in other places to help you start businesses in other places. So if you're trying to figure out what side hustle do I want to start, well, join us at 316 because I'm going to have different who's here. Also, if you're a pressure washing business and you're getting this, I've got a ton of subs inside of YouTube and different social media platforms. If you desire to be on the show, and let me tell you something, with AI SEOs, you want to be on the show as much as possible. It'll help you in the future when someone ends up saying, hey, Gronk, hey, chat, order me a pressure washing service or order me window cleaning. You want to own that now, and you do that by jumping on things like this. And so if you are a business owner and you'd be interested in being interviewed, love to have you on. If it has to do with create jobs, make disciples, serve the city. Also, if you're in other industries and you're interested in finding out more, I want you to jump on in. And the way that you get there is you sign up at asyougo.network. Hopefully I didn't say it too many times. And our goal inside the network is to provide you with content, community, and coaching. I believe those are the main things that you're going to need to grow a side hustle or to grow a kingdom-minded businesses. You need content, you need community, and you need coaching. And when you do it together, you can end up growing a massive business. And so from wherever you're at to wherever you want to be, we want to help you get there. I'm also going to introduce you to what we call brand partners, people that I believe that would be the right people for you to do business with. Trust is a big deal inside of the industry. And I've got who's that I've built relationships with that I trust that I want to offer to you inside of your business, whether it's people for AI marketing or CRMs or whatever the thing is that you might need. I want to point you to those individuals. And so if you're interested in being a part of this journey, I honestly look at this as a disciple making community or disciple making network. I invite you to be a part. Jump on in. And the way that you get there is through asyougo.network. That'll get you signed up. And let me read my notes to see if there's anything else I want to share with you guys. Just a reminder that it's 316 every single day. The reason I chose 316 is because obviously, John 3:16 is for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Verse 17, for God did not send his son into the world to condemn it, but he sent his son to save it. And that's what you and I are called to do wherever we are. Life is too short for us to be living our lives on somebody else's mission. It's not about profits. It's not about just solving problems. It's not just about people. It's about proclaiming the good news of what God has done for our lives. And I want to show you, teach you how we can do that inside the marketplace. That's all I've got for today. It's only going to be about 14 to 16 minutes long. And if you're watching this after it goes live, please drop some comments. Please share. Please like. Please subscribe, and you won't miss anything. If you know anybody that's looking for a side hustle to open up or is thinking about launching a business, share with them this channel at Brown's Pressure Washing as we talk about Mission 316. Y'all have a great day. I love you. Peace.